Welcome to a Designated Drinker Show limited series, the Do-Gooders Social Hour. Now, we're changing things up just a bit in order to bring center stage to a few folks who are bringing goodness to the world. Now tell me, how could we not toast to that? We recommend crafting yourself a classic Boulevardier, which dates back to the late 1920s and loosely translates to a man about town. Now, it's a bit boozy, yes, but it also delivers the perfect balance of bitter and sweet, making it the perfect episode listening companion. And to find the recipe, all you need to do is scroll down into the episode notes. And of course, you know you'll always be able to find it on designateddrinker.show. And don't worry, we'll be right here waiting for you. So like I said, welcome back, because this is part 2 of our conversation with the owner and award-winning pitmaster of Smokecraft Modern Barbecue, Drew Darneille. So if you missed part 1 of me messing up his name each time, you definitely need to go back and take a listen first. So Drew, in part 1, you shared your journey to becoming a pitmaster, what pushed you to start competing in the first place, and a little bit about your approach to barbecue. So to kick off part 2, I want to jump into the festival that you're about to do, this new competition, Giant BBQ Battle, right?
Yep, the Giant National Capital Barbecue Battle down on Pennsylvania Avenue. It is the highlight of the year. So this is the big one. Other than the World Championship events, this is the big one that we look forward to every year and make sure
Thus
it's on the
it's
calendar.
giant.
What's that?
Thus it's giant.
It is giant. It is literally giant. It is a, for us, we go down, the restaurant will be there, we'll be vending and competing this year, and we'll be in front of 150,000 people walking up and down Pennsylvania Avenue, and hopefully perfect weather. And it is just something. It's a whole.
Oh, you put it out there. You ruined it. You said, ask for perfect weather. You know what's going to happen now. It's going to be your fault, Drew.
It's going to be 100% my fault. But it's something that's it's really different. A lot of times when we go cook places, and we've cooked all over the country, and we've cooked in campgrounds and campsites. We've cooked in fields. We've cooked other
beaches of Hawaii.
The beaches of Hawaii. That was just unbelievable. We've cooked at the World Championships at the Jack. Every place is a little bit different, but Giant is by far the biggest event in terms of the public interaction. I mean, the crowds, the number of people who are excited to see what we come and do and are walking up and down. I mean, I know because I was once,
Yeah, that's how it all started, right?
Yeah, it's how it all started. I walked up and down and said, man, I need that pit. I need to go and get one of those right away. And I remember knocking on the door of Old Virginia Smoke and talking to Luke Darneille, world champion, pitmaster. And I was like, what are you cooking on? Tell me why you like cooking on it. And really trying to dig out any information I could, and he was so laid back and was willing to chat. And I was like, man, I can't wait to get out there and try and compete against him. So, but it is a competition like none other at the same time, because of its prestige, it's because of its size, because of the support from the sponsors and the prize pool. The top pitmasters in the country are coming.
Yeah.
This is not an event for someone who's not ready to take it on. There are plenty of events.
So you're not suggesting I come there with my little hibachi?
Maybe
not. Maybe I'm not ready for it.
There are plenty. There are a lot of great events and events with backyard and single meat contests and great ways for people to get into the competition barbecue world. But this is the event where we're going up against world champions, multiple
That's
world
cool.
champions, and only the best will come to the top. So this is a fun event. And this is an event that we want to come home with that 6-foot trophy. It is the biggest trophy in barbecue, or one of the biggest for the grand champion.
Way bigger than the Stanley Cup.
It's way bigger than Stanley. It's taller than me. I'm a pretty tall guy.
It's definitely taller than
But I haven't had a chance to bring it home yet. So hoping that this is the year.
Absolutely. Hope for you too. So how do you prepare for that? Like when you were talking earlier in part 1, you were talking about like how your precision and things. And it's funny, in my head, I was seeing you the chefs that are like their faces right by the food, and they're like, and I was like, I guess he doesn't do that when he seasons stuff, because then he'd burn his face. That doesn't make any sense. But how do you prepare for this? I mean, what do you start the day before? How does that happen? I mean, can you start the day before?
Can't start the day before. I mean, we roll in DC, this is a unique event because we're shutting down Pennsylvania Avenue. So the teams will roll in on Friday night. On Saturday, we have a whole bunch of ancillary contests that are going on. So getting us going, we have the Rosetta Best Beef Contest, the Impossible Food Barbecue Championships, the National Turkey Smoke Contest.
Wait, what's the Impossible Food? Oh, like Impossible Foods.
Impossible Meat.
Yeah,
Impossible Meat. So trying to come up with something creative with Impossible Meat. And then we have the National Turkey Federation Turkey Smoke Contest, which we won at DC a few years ago. That will be one that we're definitely shooting for. The Bonchon's Chef's Choice Barbecue Contest. Those are all on Saturday. So all these ancillary contests that are lined up, it gives us a chance to kind of just cook and get into stuff before we get into the main event where our turn-ins are on Sunday. And on Sunday, as part of our 4-meat contest, we've got the Sizzling Chicken, the Purdue Sizzling Chicken Challenge, the Smithfield Barbecue Rib Championship, the National Pork Championship, and then the best sauce will get tied in over the 2 days as well. So it's a lot of cooking, a lot of contests that are going on simultaneously, and it's all timed out throughout the day. But the main event is a KCBS or Kansas City Barbecue Society sanctioned event, which is 4 meats, chicken, ribs, pork, and brisket. And the combined 4-meat score will be the grand champion of the event. So with the National Pork Championship, there'll be the combined rib and chicken score, or rib and pork score will be the National Pork Champion. So a lot of events going on, a lot of contests within the event. And at the same time, my team is vending, which is insane. But we're going to be putting
no rest for the weary.
No, it literally from the time we start on Friday morning in terms of packing up and coming down, we'll be down there setting up 6 o'clock Friday night. We're running up to a hotel for the night. And then Saturday, from the time we start 6 a.m. Saturday morning, getting ready for vending and all these ancillary contests till the time we leave is essentially 36 straight hours of barbecue.
And glutton.
It is. We are gluttons for punch. What are we doing? We'll go home. We'll sleep when we come home. So
you'll sleep when you're dead, right?
It's yeah, but I mean, we all love doing it. I mean, we all love doing it. We go out and cook, and I took advice long ago from Luke Darneille early on. I cook on cookers that let me go to sleep. I want to get some sleep in the middle of the night, so I cook on cabinet smokers. And
I know some people that dabble in your world, not a professional like you, but like they'll cook through the night, like the meat goes in. So do you do that for these competitions? So
I think what we found over time is when I first started cooking, we used to cook low and slow, stay up all night. And then there was a point where I was coming home from a contest just north of Baltimore in Bel Air, and I couldn't drive home. And I live, an hour away. Yeah. Like I literally could not drive us safely home after the contest. And after that event, I said, how is it that everybody is able to travel all these miles and go? And we started cooking hot and fast. Yeah. And a lot of pro teams these days are now cooking hot and fast, but it depends on what kind of smoker you're cooking on. Everyone's cooking on all kinds of different things. People are cooking on stick burners, on drum smokers, cabinets, Webers, all kinds of smokers. And at the end of the day, it doesn't matter what you cook on. It matters the quality of the food that you put out of it. And we've had an opportunity to cook on all different kinds of cookers as well. And really it's just small, subtle changes, timelines. How long are you cooking? Are you up all night? Do you have a teammate who feeds the firewood all night? Yeah. Who's their job is to stay up all night, making sure it's right. So we light our fires before we go to bed. We try and get 3-4 hours of sleep. Then we pop back up and keep going. And you just don't want to oversleep. Oversleeping or partying too hard the night before can lead to disastrous results, or for some of the best out there, grand championships. We've seen it happen. So you never know what's going to happen. I know a pitmaster who will be there, who's won DC, who showed up at a contest at 6 a.m. or 7 a.m. the morning of, with turn-ins starting at noon, and he won the contest. And you're sitting there looking like, how did he do that? I mean, that's skill. That's the level of competition that we're up against. And for somebody to be able to pull that off and turn in barbecue that's traditionally low and slow at a world championship caliber level.
That's impressive.
In 5 hours.
Yeah.
It was impressive.
That's why when you were talking about that, I'm like, how do you do all these? And if you're like, and again, it's me having limited knowledge of what you do.
Yeah.
Those long hours.
I think again, it comes down to experience. You talk about how we get prepared for it. I mean, we've been competing all spring.
Yeah.
We've been. You don't just. DC has always been that event that I always make sure that we have been out on the road before it. We can't just show up and this be the first contest of the year.
Sure.
And we have to make sure that we are firing all cylinders when we get there to give ourselves the best possible chance.
Absolutely. Who are the judges then?
Judges are certified judges. Certification is actually not that complicated. Everyone's always like, how do you become a certified barbecue judge? How do you get to try all this great food? And it's very simple. You just take a class.
Oh, interesting.
There are classes available in our area. If you check out the Mid-Atlantic Barbecue Association website, or kcbs.us, you can see where all these classes are. You sign up for a class, and maybe a few months after the class before you can actually get into a contest as a judge, because you have to sign up ahead of time, just like the competitors do to get in. But we always want new judges coming in, and in the class, you'll learn what we're scored on. And it's basically three things. We're scored on appearance, first and foremost.
You were your meat.
Our meat. Gosh, my appearance, I get a 0. You don't want to see me at the end of a barbecue contest. You got barbecue sauce everywhere, But no, it's appearance so it's a blind. We are judged blindly. Judges do not know whose food they get. It's in a blind box turned in, and they're judging the appearance of the meat, taste of the meat, and then the tenderness. So appearance is the lowest weighted score. Taste is the highest. Tenderness is kind of that middle. But taste and tenderness really go hand in hand. If your meat's not perfectly tender, it's not going to taste right. And so really, there's so many good cooks out there now, and all of our flavors are pretty similar at the end of the day. We're all, I think more often than not, it really comes down to, did you cook it perfectly and get that perfect tenderness? Wow. That's going to bring it all out.
Yeah, that's really fine. I mean, that's a really narrow road then.
It's a really fine line.
Yeah.
And the smallest thing can shoot you all the way up and down the scoreboard. And it can be brutal.
So, Alex, did you get that? Did you find where I need to sign up? You can sign me up tomorrow. Yeah. Yeah. Doesn't sound like a tough job.
All you have to do is have a love for barbecue and come and just be honest with your feedback. Oh, absolutely. And the most frustrating thing is when we get our scores sometimes when we don't get feedback from the judges. Judges have comment cards, and we really want these comment cards. Especially when things don't go well. What was wrong? What didn't they like? Was it too salty? Was it dry? Was it rubbery? What did we taste something wrong? I think some of the feedback that you get from judges allows you to adjust and make things better next time.
Gotcha. Well, yeah. I mean, who doesn't want feedback, especially at a competitive space like yours? You always want to be able to up your game, and if that feedback can help you make better decisions, it's got to be valuable.
Absolutely. And we talk to each other, and the teams talk to each other, and we all try and figure it out. And there's a lot of sharing of food afterwards. What did you think? How did it go? How was your cook? We're not supposed to share it with the public, but we can talk amongst ourselves and be like, hey, what did we do? But that's why we're there vending.
Yeah.
And we're there with so many vendors that can go up and down, and you can try some great barbecue and see really at the end of the day who did it best.
Yeah. So do you ever go back to look at your food that you vend, whether it be the restaurant or not, and then compare it to your food that you like? Do you think of it in that way, or can you even? I
don't think you can. I think when I'm competing, for example, I'm cooking a $300 A9 Wagyu brisket.
Yeah.
I can't cook $300 A9 Wagyu briskets in the restaurant. I would love to.
Yeah.
Nobody's going to pay for it.
Yeah. So it's interesting. We just had we recently had, I don't think this episode's been released, so I had to be careful what I say. Had somebody on the show for a spirit competition. Mm-hmm. And she was saying, talking about getting bartenders to compete. She's like, you're not setting a menu. This is an opportunity for you to do something that you'd probably never be able to get this cocktail on the menu, because the timing, the cost, all of those things, those factors cannot come in, are not there. Yep. You could not put this on, these cocktails could not be put on a menu.
You take it to the next level, and when we went
Pure indulgence.
Yeah, we did a cocktail contest when we went to the World Championships at the Jack, and actually on our YouTube channel, there's a great story about our trip to the Jack last year. For anyone who wants to see it, but our mixologist did this crazy cocktail that was over the top and unbelievable. And at the end of the day, somehow we didn't win, and we're sitting there scratching our heads, being like, "Wow, this was really something. What did somebody do that was more over the top than this?" And when it comes to competition barbecue, this is for the person who doesn't try it every week. Any of the teams that are at the Giant National Capital Barbecue Battle, if you got a chance to try their ribs, I guarantee you're going to walk away saying those are the best ribs I've ever had. Yeah. And there are going to be 30 plus teams there. Yeah. So for 30 plus teams putting out the best ribs you've ever had, you can imagine the level of competition that's with that and the challenge that faces. But, you can't do it. To do it at that scale in the restaurant is really tough. So like I said earlier, like you have to take the small pieces of what can we translate into bulk when I'm doing 40, 50 racks of ribs a day. Sure. What are the things that I can take that are going to impact those and make them the best ribs I can cook in the restaurant tonight that are going to be above every other restaurant's ribs? Because I'm still going out trying.
Yes, you're still competing.
I'm still competing. I mean, I'm competing for people to come dine with us, and I hope that they believe that our food is some of the best barbecue in our area.
Well, I guess we need to try that out, Alex. Sign me up for the class, and then let's go get some ribs. All right, so to close this portion out, because Alex is definitely giving me stink eye right now. Anything else on the fests that we need to cover? And more importantly, tell me what's the one thing on your menu that I don't want to miss.
Well, if you're talking the Giant National Capital Barbecue, this is really a full day for the family. This is a great day to go out. There's all kinds of stuff going on. There's from the tasting pavilion where you're going to have an opportunity to try all the various vendors are going to put out tons and tons, not the barbecue vendors, but all the Giant things that you can buy at Giant. You get a Giant tasting test. Really? So there's going to be a lot of food there. There's going to be 3 stages for music brought to you by Pepsi. You have of course, you have to have a hot dog eating contest at a major event. Nathan's has brought the hot dog eating contest to DC. There's going to be a demo stage, but the Giant demo stage where I'll be actually cooking. Cool. And doing a demo on Sunday.
So I could actually learn a little bit.
You can actually learn something.
I could put my husband in front and he could learn a little something.
But then there's also BMX and skateboarding going on over on the Monster Energy.
Oh, I do that every weekend.
Oh, there you go. I can see that.
Yeah.
So, but all of this comes together. This is, at the end of the day, this is bringing together money for the Giant is going to make a huge donation to the USO, going back to armed forces, and that's why everything comes together. So everything from the tasting pavilion to the music to seeing the competition to supporting the local vendors who are going to be out there cooking barbecue like ourselves. It's a great full day event, and you can get all the information at barbecueindc.com. Yep,
and you don't have to worry about that because we will definitely have that in the links in the episode notes. So all you have to do is swipe your phone, and it's going to be right there, that close. So,
perfect.
Awesome.
Now, when you come to the restaurant, what do you have to have? Well, we have so much great food, but I really think that the one thing on my menu, if you were to try one thing and say this is stand out, it's going to be our pork belly burnt ends. I think our pork belly burnt ends are an amazing way to start some great barbecue and then work your way right into some of our world championship ribs and pork. Those are what we're known for.
Cool.
And finish it off with maybe our colada key lime pie.
I never leave room for dessert, but I'll try.
It's tough when you come eat a barbecue place. Yeah. I'm going to put some food in front of
you. You ain't leaving hungry.
If you leave hungry, I have failed.
Or I've done something wrong. So the advice is wear pants with elastic.
It's always a good idea.
Yeah.
I have to keep loosening my belt just a little bit from time to time.
Well, cheers to that. Congratulations on a good season and good luck at Giant's BBQ Battle.
Well, thanks for having me, and thank you. We'll hopefully see you down there.
Absolutely. Cheers.
Cheers.
The Designated Drinker Show is produced by Missing Link, a Latino-owned, strategy-driven, creatively fueled production co-op. From ideation to creation, we craft human connections through intelligent, engaging, and informative content. Also in the Missing Link lineup of podcasts is Roger That, a podcast dedicated to guiding you through the haze of dementia, led by skilled caregivers. Now, if you're looking for a whole new way to enjoy the theater, check out Between Acts, an immersive audio theater podcast experience. Each episode takes you on a spellbinding journey through the works of newfound playwrights, from dramas to comedies and everything in between. Find Missing Link's League of Podcasts on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you listen to your podcasts. And while you're there, please don't forget to follow, download, and review the shows. Your reviews help our shows reach new audiences. To find out more about Missing Link, visit missinglink.company. That's missinglink.company.